There are new reports suggesting that Marvel is working on something epically big in active development for Disney+. And a former Marvel screenwriter just did an interview talking about how he would expect the mutants to be introduced in the Disney+ shows. Coincidence? I think not.
It's like the news, but for nerds.
Today's shout out goes to Leonard Ayala. Indeed, it was Duchess Satine that Obi-Wan was in love with. Make sure you stay to the end of this video where we will ask another Nerd Card question. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you. You made it through another work week. Congratulations. I'm Josh. Welcome back to the den. And oh my God, do you guys see that? That's this pesky 30,000 subscriber fly that keeps trying to come into the frame, get some of our attention. Don't worry, guys. We're way too big of a deal to let some pesky attention-seeking fly get us down. Okay, so let's get into this. This is frankly pretty thin as far as a story is concerned. I'm actually taking a couple of different things that happened yesterday that are being reported on today, and I'm sort of reading the tea leaves and thinking of how it can all fit together to bring the X-Men and the mutants into the MCU on Disney+. So what are these things I'm drawing together? Well, number one, Jeremy Conrad over at MCU Cosmic just published an article today talking about how he has learned from sources that Marvel has something huge in active development for Disney+, and it will be revealed soon. Now in that article, Jeremy speculates on a ton of different things it could be, and he doesn't necessarily know what soon means, but it could be D23, which of course is next weekend. Now along with that, I actually watched a video on Collider where Drew Pierce sat down with Frosty and they talked about Hobbs and Shaw, or at least they were supposed to talk about Hobbs and Shaw. They ended up geeking out about the MCU and Kevin Feige because Drew Pierce is actually a former MCU writer. He was hired by Kevin Feige to work on Iron Man 3. That helped him out a lot in his career, and it's really cool hearing this guy's perspective on what it's like to work with Feige and how unprecedented and ridiculous the MCU is. I mean, honestly, something we talk a lot about here, but guys, go check out this video. As a Marvel fan, it gets you all giddy, man. Like, yeah, dude, like Marvel's doing this thing that's just kind of incredible right now. And it's cool to see, you know, somebody who was on the inside of it talk a little bit about it and gush with Frosty. It's really cool. Check it out. But in that article, this screenwriter says that he wouldn't be surprised if the mutants are introduced in WandaVision. And then quickly Frosty changes the subjects and they get back on Hobbs and Shaw. But just that little moment in and of itself, combined with the Jeremy Conrad article, really got me thinking.
Take a look at this. Jesus Christ. That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
And yes, kind of thin. What do you want from me? It's a really slow news day. So could this be a thing? Like, could they choose to introduce mutants in the Disney+ shows? I think definitely, and it's really curious to me that Jeremy comes out with this report because, you know, go with me a little bit here, guys, but I think it could be possible that what Jeremy is hearing about from his sources is not actually a new project for Disney+, but something that's already in active development and a huge aspect that maybe we haven't heard about. Like, for instance, if they are planning on introducing the mutants and really focusing on how Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is a mutant in the WandaVision series, then that could be a huge bit of news that is in active development for Disney+ and would be announced soon. Because I think it's really smart for Disney to really sell you on these Disney+ shows. I mean, they're already really interconnected in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All of Phase 4, well, about half of Phase 4 rather, is Disney+ shows. But I mean, what could really get you going over there, right? Like, what could really make it spicy to go check out Disney+ if you're on the fence? Well, mutants, right? And the X-Men. This idea is so big to the MCU, and X-Men are on the rise right now. What Jonathan Hickman's doing at Marvel with the X-Men right now is incredible. So like, X-Men and mutants on the rise. Well, wouldn't it make sense that you could sort of leverage a character that's a known mutant in the comics? You could explain how her mutation was either aided by an Infinity Stone or perhaps created by an Infinity Stone, which again is a huge theory. Like, people have already theorized about this, the fact that the snap and the stones could be making mutants in the MCU, but you could have that character be introduced as a mutant, her mutant abilities and powers be a huge problem in that series. That's like a real good hook, because I don't know if the WandaVision series just in its own right is enough of a draw for people. Like, I'm interested in it, and I'm hella interested in how it ties into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but I don't know if that would be enough for like the normies or like the casual fan. Basically what I'm saying here is if they can add as much ammunition as possible to these shows, it would make sense. And another interesting piece to this puzzle is the fact that if the Eternals and Black Widow are not actually canonically taking place after Endgame, then the only place where we are going to be getting little glimpses and looks at what the universe actually looks like in the MCU post-Endgame would be on Disney+. I mean, we expect that out of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Like, this is in the wake of the shield being given to Sam. It just makes sense. Like, you want to know not only about those characters and their struggle, but about the world. The MCU creates the draw itself. So you want to know, what does the MCU look like now post Endgame? We got a little taste of it in Spider-Man, but we want more. Oh my God, guys, I'm sorry that pesky 30,000 subscriber really desperately wants attention flies in the frame again. God, I try to get it out of here. I also think it's really smart to sprinkle like mutants and the mutant gene phenomenon throughout the MCU. Like, this is something that should feel pretty organic, kind of funny. Organic mutants, yeah. But this is something that should feel organic. It shouldn't all just take place in one film, so sprinkling it throughout makes a lot of sense. So the more and more I think about this, the more I think that, yeah, you make Scarlet Witch the mutant. Part of the problem in the WandaVision series is that because of her mutation, her powers are getting to absolutely unbelievable, ridiculous levels. Now, we've also heard that Nightmare will be the villain in Doctor Strange 2, but there was also a lot of talk about how Wanda could be some kind of a villain in this film because it just feels like they're going for a House of M kind of vibe. Because as I've said before, House of X sort of is created because Wanda is mourning because of the loss of her children and Vision. She literally creates this other reality. It's the no more mutants thing, and then there's literally the fact that Doctor Strange defeats her, and Doctor Strange is with her in the Multiverse of Madness. Coincidence? I think not, but maybe. So with fans already starting to think that, like, I think it could be really juicy here if Doctor Strange is dealing with the mutant phenomenon. He would be someone that would understand, at least at some level, what was going on. And he's a great character for that. Like, he's a great character for explaining things. He's really useful in Infinity War and Endgame, you know, as a plot device, as this guy who knows a lot and can see a lot of different things. It's just very valuable as a narrative device. And so having Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness talking about mutants, there could be an issue with Wanda being a mutant and her mutation going crazy, which echoes a lot of the House of M stuff that comic book fans love. I mean, to me, this is making a good bit of sense. And so I pass the question off to you guys. What do you think about this? What do you think about Jeremy Conrad's report that there's something huge coming to Disney Plus in active development? What do you think that could be? And what do you think about my speculation and theory based upon what Drew Pierce said about the mutants, about Feige, about the X-Men, and about Disney Plus? To get the conversation started, but I definitely want to know what y'all think about all this craziness. And now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know, who are the parents of Cable? That's right, the mutant Cable, the awesome mutant that was in Deadpool 2. Yeah, he was actually the offspring of two very powerful mutants, and I want to know, who were those mutants? Answer that question in the comments section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh my God, this